Well, I want to welcome everyone to our, hard to believe it's our March roundtable. And let's get started with our opening. So if you would all please silence yourselves and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Scout sign for the oath and law. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, ever reverent. Okay, thank you all. Just an opening thought for all of us, because March is a month of change in many, many ways, and spring is also the metaphor for change. Some changes we eagerly await, like daylight saving time and warmer weather, and some we abhor, like the March snowstorms with lots of slush. Some changes we plan, and others arrive uninvited. And whether we plan to have new Scouts or they arrive uninvited or arrive invited by someone else, we welcome them all. And with that, I would like to welcome everyone to this evening and turn this over to Greg for our council announcements.
Thank you, Ellie. Welcome everybody to our March meeting. The Boy Scouts of America announced recently some updates to the barriers to abuse in the Guide to Safe Scouting, which will take effect, as you can see, September 1st. But they are encouraging us to share this now and to start putting this into practice as soon as we can. The 72-hour rule, which used to be, or still is for right now, anyone that stays overnight for 72 hours at any event, even if they leave for a while and come back, that's being eliminated. And going forward, all adults that stay overnight at a scouting activity will need to be registered in a adult fee required position. So not merit badge counselor, STEM counselor, those positions that have no fee in them. There is a limited exception, which I'll put on the screen, about Cub Scouts, since that is a family camping program. And it says Cub Scout parent or legal guardians, sending some message to look at that verbiage. It really is whoever the legal guardian is. So the legal parent or the legal guardian is allowed to stay with their child overnight. That does mean that if grandma or grandpa has them for the weekend, for them to be able to camp with them, they will need to be registered with the Boy Scouts of America. So more to come out about this, but we wanted to get this out so people could start getting prepared for this starting September 1st. And again, they do need to be in a paid position. All right, so I'm sure we'll be getting more information from the national office, and perhaps we'll set up a special training to go over this.
Good evening, Western Massachusetts Council. Art Lobdell, your Assistant Scout Executive, here for a couple of brief updates about the Council. Very happy to report that membership continues to grow. We have now reached 12 consecutive months with membership growth. We are at 1,374 youth members, certainly emerging from recharter with membership growth is an awesome thing to have happen. Thank you all for all of the hard work that you've done, and certainly look forward to continue growing membership throughout the year. The Cubs have managed to rebound quite well. They're at a 23% growth rate over this time last year. So we still have a lot of work to go. A lot of recruiting efforts are now just starting. So again, thank you for all that you have done for membership. For the pancake sale, a couple of reminders. The orders are due on March 15th. Please make sure that you do get those in. We understand that sales are going very well in the 30-some units that are participating in the pancake sale this year. Please help us by making sure that those orders are here by March 15th. They should be available much earlier than the paperwork says. We've been receiving the products from our producers within just a few days. So the initial paperwork said pickup would be on April 1st. Really, right the week after the orders are due, we should have the products here in the office to be picked up. Also, because several units have also asked, can they still get in on the pancake sale? We've added a second phase. The next time that orders will be due is May 12th. May 12th will be the next time for people to be able to put in an order for pancakes and syrup. If you need more time going through the summer, please just reach out and talk to us if you want to do some kind of a summer sale. There is a blackout period on the pancake and syrup sale from September 1st to November 1st. Then the products will be available again, ready to be ordered November 14th if they want them for Thanksgiving, or the final order for the year is due on December 11th. November 14th, December 11th. Friends of Scouting is going very well. Certainly want to thank all of the presenters who are visiting units and having those presentations. Almost all of the presentations are coming in higher than they did at this time last year. Thank you for all of that. There's still opportunities to schedule your presentation. There's a link on the council website for that. I know it's in the slide deck, but you have to call out the celebrity server, which is this Wednesday at the Student Prince. Please come on down to support that event if you are able. And we have a late addition. The Starfire's mascot will be on hand that night as well. So come on down to the Student Prince at the Fort on Wednesday evening. All In for Scouting. All In for Scouting is now in its third year, going very well. We've sent out 2 letters to unit leaders to be able to address the status of where their units are. We are going to be closing the window for making any adjustments to the 2023 reward program, where units are being rewarded for what they did in 2022. The last day for those adjustments to be made will be on March 15th. In the slide deck, we will have a current listing of where units stand. We'll also be publishing it in the next 2 issues of the Compass. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Good evening, Western Massachusetts
Well,
Council.
Let's
Art Lob-
see. There we go. So Art talked about Celebrity Server this coming Wednesday. Love to see folks there downtown Springfield. Here is the current incentive levels for units that Art also mentioned. And this is available on our website as well. And he did talk about the pancake sales this Sunday. There is pancake brunch up at Moses, but Art did want to say that they need 10 more reservations to be able to continue this event. So if you're interested coming up, it'll be in the training lodge. You can see the new floors that were just installed in that area, the tile floors. And you can register online. So 10 more people by the 8th to sign up. WOA registration is ready, and yes, there's snow up at camp, so hopefully we can keep it there until this next WOA event. Maybe we'll get the Yukon Challenge underway. And Mary, if you're with us, do you want to share anything about NYLT and upcoming trainings?
Sure. NYLT, we are in the process of developing our staff. We're looking forward to a great new year. Eric Otteson is going to be the course director this year, so we're very excited. In addition to that, we are offering IOLS training at the end of April, April 29th to be specific, and we are offering Baloo training May 6th and 7th. Thank you, Greg. I love it. So yeah, so I'm around for the evening. If anybody has any questions, if I can be of any help, just holler out and let me know.
Excellent. And just a note that the Leave No Trace trainer course has been canceled
Oh, that's too bad.
this month. Yeah. Summer camp registration continues to be accepted. Week 2 is closed to new overnight units. Week 1 is filling up very quickly. So if you have not made your reservation with your unit, please do so very quickly. Week 4 is also filling up. So get on in. April 1st is the early bird deposit deadline. So if you have a loyalty rate already locked in from returning from last year, or your early bird, you do need to get the $100 per youth deposit in on that date. And then full payment is due May 15th. And we are continuing to take applications for camp staff as well. Information is online. Anybody here from Pinewood Derbies with an update? I can add that the Metacomet Derby, we are expecting it will be at the Norris Elementary School in Southampton, just waiting for final approval for that. And Weeblos Woods registration is scheduled to open April 1st. So look for more information on that as well. Klondike Derby 2.0 this coming Saturday. Glad that many units are able to join us again. MBU information was sent out. Everything we know is pretty much on the screen here. So look for your emails for more information coming from Alpha Phi Omega. And the spring camporee, I don't think I saw Hunter come on in. Any chance Hunter joined us?
I haven't seen him.
All right. So he expects information to be released by this Saturday, and then that information will be sent out to all of our troops electronically as well. Some things in the future you can look forward to. The camporee Troop 179 in East Long Meadow is looking for a couple youth and adults to fill their trek out to Philmont. If you know anyone interested, you can reach out to the council office. We'll get you connected. Dave O'Leary did let us know that the Northern Tier trek for this year has been canceled. And information's online for Mass Jam. So not too soon to be planning for that. Joshua Hall did share with us recently the Silver Beaver nominations will be due April 30th. You can send those to Lindsay or myself or directly to Joshua Hall. And if you have somebody for the District Award of Merit or the other recognitions at the district level, or you yourself are ready to apply for adult training recognition, for example, those applications can be sent anytime to Lindsay Broder's attention at the Service Center, and we will get them organized for our district teams to review for their programs this spring. The Order of the Arrow, been sharing this, so I won't go through all the events other than there's an outpost bowling event this Saturday and a Gray Wolf Day up at camp if you're available to help out. A couple other opportunities are our National Service Territory 11 Key Leadership Conference has just been announced. There's some information on our website about that event on March 25th. Earth Day at the Springfield Museums. If your unit is looking for some activities to do for that and or to assist us with some of the service that we provide there, look for information on our website, and some upcoming meetings are coordinated committees meetings. We had a nice turnout this month. We'd love to have some more folks and our work days up at camp. March 12th is the rescheduled date from this past Saturday. And April 1st, it's not a joke. Come on out and join us in getting our camp ready for the summer. If you have been looking for our videos, they are on our YouTube site. You can also go to our main Western Massachusetts Council site, and in the upper right corner, just click on the YouTube icon. It'll take you right there to those recordings. All right, thank you, Ellie.
All right, thank you, Greg. Do we have any other information from anybody for Order of the Arrow? And seeing none, Fritz, did you have anything you wanted to put in about youth protection at all?
Thank you, Ellie. This is the time of year that people who rechartered are starting to have their youth protection expire. So unit leaders, please designate someone or yourself. Check your leadership rosters and make sure that everyone is up to date and hasn't expired. Every month, a few more people get added to the list of folks whose youth protection has been expired. I try to keep up with reminders once a month to let folks know, and I will do that for March. But it'd be a lot easier if unit leaders would track that. And this goes for merit badge counselors as well. You should not be conducting merit badge classes if your youth protection has expired. And leaders who have expired should not be participating in meetings or going on camping trips or interacting with scouting youth. That's against BSA policy. So it's very important that people be aware of their youth protection dates and keep up to date with that. It's very easy to do online. So you can do it on your own time when it's best convenient for you. So please don't forget about doing that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fritz. Okay, this evening, our hot topic is what does it take to be an experienced outdoor leader? And to pull that off, we have created a Zoom poll. So Greg, you know what needs to happen with, oh, David O'Leary has a hand raised before we go off to that. David?
Yeah, just one other quick announcement, and this is a last minute addition here to the other announcements. On the late afternoon of Sunday, May 21st, that will be our General Knox district picnic, similar to what we did this past August, but kind of moving it back closer to our traditional time at Zott Park in Chicopee, at the pavilion there. And I'll put something in the chat, but just wanted to let people know, and please save that date. And think about, as was announced about Silver Beaver and District of Order Merit awards, think about people to nominate not only for those awards, but also the training awards and various other district awards. So watch for more information about that, but please save that date, Sunday, May 21st. Thanks.
All right. Okay.
So hopefully the poll popped up, Ellie.
Yes, I see it.
So folks should be answering and then submitting when they're finished.
All right.
We didn't plan any background music.
It's a learning curve.
Do 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 do.
But then YouTube blocks all the sound from our video. All right, we got 50% in, Ellie.
All right.
Oh, I didn't end the poll. I guess it stopped itself. My apologies, everybody. Huh. It says I can relaunch it. Do we risk it resetting?
No, we can. Do you want me to take a screenshot at this point?
Well,
Or
let's, we only got half the answers in. Should we open it back
All
up? See what happens?
Sure, open it back up
My
and let's see what
apologies if
happens.
everybody, all right, I guess we have to do it again.
Oh,
My
okay.
apologies.
All right. So everybody hop back on in.
Keep my hands away from the mouse this time. We're up to 70%, 75. $85. All right, 3 more people. All right, 10 more seconds. 2 more polls are out there. And we'll call it closed, Ellie.
All right.
You ready to share the results with
Sure.
everybody?
All right.
All right.
So outdoors is important in scouting to teach skills and self-reliance. And everybody who responded said absolutely true. And it's one of the ways we do build skills and build self-reliance in our youth. Leaders do not need to know or be trained in outdoor skills. They just have to enjoy being outdoors. Nice job, everybody. Leaders do need to be trained in outdoor skills. It's nice if they enjoy being outdoors in addition to being trained in the outdoor skills. But I know people who are trained in outdoor skills and don't exactly enjoy going camping because every time they go camping, it rains. so it's kind of a flip. Safe swim defense, safety afloat, and weather hazards are required BSA training for outdoor events. Hey, 82% true said true, 18% said false. Okay, let's discuss this a little bit more. What do you think, people?
Depends on the activity.
Tell us more, Mary.
So severe weather the weather hazard should be done for everybody because you always need to know about that. But the ones that are water related, if you're not going near the water, you don't really need to have the water trainings.
Mhm.
So it's based on what the activity is. Yes, and true, depends on Cubs versus BSA for some-ish
Okay,
stuff.
awesome.
Hazardous weather training is a mandatory training now
Right.
for all
For all levels.
levels.
Right. But the question is all three.
No,
So all three are not required, but the weather hazards is required. Okay. It's a kind of tricky one we threw in to have a little discussion. I have to have a lot of equipment to be an outdoor leader. You have to know people who have equipment, or your troop has to have the equipment. Actually, it's your chartering organization who owns the equipment. And you'd be surprised what some of the kids come up with for equipment. Okay. Medical forms are required for outdoor activities. Absolutely. Glad everybody knows that. Because there are some people who would say, yeah, I've met with some parents. What do I need a medical form for? You know, I'm only going for the day. Campfires and interfaith service are required if camping overnight. They are not required. They are highly recommended. Okay. Campfires are one of the ways that we have lots of fun. And we teach our youth to take on some leadership skills by planning and presenting campfires, communication skills, things like that. Interfaith services, it's wonderful to include them. I am a strong proponent of them because the 12th point of the Scout law is a Scout is reverent. Grace at meals is something that is also part of a Scout being reverent. So when you are outdoors, it does not need to be a formal grace, but grace before meals should be included. Okay. Clean water is a must. Absolutely. Now, for that person who said false, I am hoping that you are planning on bringing some sort of a water purification filter or tablets or something that will provide you with potable water. We can camp anywhere. Okay. Why do some people say that's true? And I know it's a small number of people saying it's true, but be brave. Why did you say it's true?
You can camp in a museum.
You
So
can.
I said you can camp in the museum, and there's other
Mhm.
places that you could camp in other areas. So that's the reason why I said true.
Yeah, okay. All right. It actually is false. There are some places that restrict and prohibit camping, even if they are outdoors. So you do need to be aware of those places where you are allowed to camp. But you're right, you can camp, you know, inside, outdoors. You just have to know that there are places that do restrict whether or not you can go camping. I know of, I don't see Cheryl's face in my screen right now, but I can predict what Cheryl's face is going to look like when I say there was a unit in the General Knox district that used to camp inside the school gymnasium every year. That was their camping. Month after month, they camped inside the school gymnasium. Okay. Outdoor activities promote
Ellie?
membership. Yes?
I'm sorry, if I could just interrupt here. Cub Scout camping does need to be required now by the council. There's a form that can be sent in, and I would love a group of people that would like to help our outdoor programs or review these and come up with a list of approved sites. So that is a mandatory requirement now from BSA, and the approval for a site is only good for 24 months.
Greg,
Okay.
hasn't that been a thing for years?
Yes, but now it is
Enforceable?
more of a thing.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Where did I leave off?
Number 9.
Yep. Outdoor activities promote membership and retention. Thank you, everyone. Absolutely. We keep the outing and scouting, and we're finding, we always knew that there were challenges and growth opportunities in the outdoors that you don't get hanging around inside in front of a computer or with a video joystick in your hands. Every unit must have a trained outdoor leader. Okay. Absolutely. Right. Now, at the Cub Scouting level, not every registered leader has to have outdoor training the same way it happens in Scouts BSA, where to be trained, you have to have had IOLS. But someone within your unit must be trained in Baloo. All right. Great. Any questions or conversation or discussion anybody wants to have about any of these? Okay. Greg, I guess we're good and ready to head to breakouts.
Okay, so welcome everybody. It looks like we've got 14 folks here. We're going to be doing a kind of a Scouts BSA Older Scouts program extension of what we just talked about. So I do have some other folks in the room that are going to be assisting me with this presentation and discussing, and hopefully this will be a group discussion. So feel free to unmute if you have a comment or a question, because we have 23 minutes to go, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So going forward, we have some information here that's going to be appropriate for Scouts BSA, but also venturing and even Sea Scouts. So those of you who are involved with those other programs, feel free to speak up if you have any additional comments, because I personally don't have a lot of experience with Sea Scouts, for example, but maybe some of you may have some experience that you'd like to share. So here's a question for the room. What trainings are required to be considered position trained for Scouts BSA, venturing, and Sea Scouts leaders? Does everybody know this? It's something I had to remind myself of, again, especially with the Sea Scouts leaders.
Are you including committee too, or just
I would say
Scoutmasters?
for the direct contact leaders that,
Okay.
yeah, would be working with the Scouts directly.
Just check.
Good question. So I will link us to the scouting.org website, which hopefully you're all a little bit familiar with. And that they have on the scouting.org website a document that you can download that gives you what is considered requirements for each position. I'm going to jump away from Cub Scouts since we're not working with those folks right now, and we're going to be going to Scouts BSA. So anybody who is a Scoutmaster or Assistant Scoutmaster really needs to have these trainings considered before their first meeting. These are available online. It takes about an hour to get through them. Within the first 30 days, some additional ones, things like patrol method, advancement. But if you look, you start talking about outdoor training within the first 60 days, things like outdoor programs. And that's a 10-minute session that you can do online as well. But to be truly position trained, to actually have the the training considered to be done, you'll notice we have a couple of those things we just talked about. We have the outdoor ethics class, which something you can do online, but hazardous weather training required for pretty much any unit that's going to be going outdoors or doing any activities. It's required training. So please complete that. It takes about a half an hour and is really important because we need to be able to predict how to handle situations that are a little bit more dangerous, especially with weather concerns. As we all know, I mean, even just this winter, we hear about snow blizzards, and we know things like fire risks can be a concern, droughts. There's all these consideration of thunderstorms that could really be dangerous. So please do that training and encourage everybody in your program to do the training because it's really important and a requirement. And so that's kind of the basic requirements for a scout leader.
Minus the outdoor piece. That's only the online piece, which is the replacement for Scoutmaster specific, the S24 program. Because in addition to be a fully trained Scoutmaster or Assistant Scoutmaster, you need to take Introduction to Outdoor Leader Skills.
Okay, yes, we're going to talk about that in a minute or two. Yes, but we're going to hit some of those other trainings as well. So a couple of the trainings are available as classroom options if that's something that your unit wants to do or you have the opportunity to do. I would recommend, always, we love online trainings, but sometimes these classroom options are great. And as you can see, Introduction to Outdoor Leadership Skills is an outdoor classroom training required for assistant Scoutmasters and Scoutmasters, just what Mary was just saying, S11. So please, if you don't have that, get signed up and do it as soon as possible. Moving forward, we do have requirements for venturing leaders too. A lot of this is online, as you can see, but look, this old friend is here, hazardous weather training, important and required for all leaders. And As you can see, well, we have some of those available as on classroom trainings as well. So if you haven't done crew advisor or associate crew advisor specific training, please do those, and you can do them either online or in a classroom. But hazardous weather is kind of the one I was specifically going to mention, and IOLS is available for venturing leaders too. So please, if you're a venturing leader and you're going to be outdoors with your crew, sign up for IOLS. It's available and should be done. And Sea Scouts, kind of just wanted to point out that hazardous weather training is required for Sea Scout leaders as well. And probably you can imagine why. Hopefully you don't have the perfect storm in your ship, but you never know. And you'd probably want to be prepared for that by at least being aware of weather concerns for ships. So that's kind of the requirements for just position training. But as Mary was mentioning, there's a cat there too. There are other trainings that we want to talk about as well beyond just the basics. And so we're going to kind of move forward and ask, what supplemental trainings would you want to take as a leader of a program involved in outdoor activities? So hopefully you all took the big clue that the weather one is really very important. But what other trainings would you want to take? Hopefully you've all experienced at least one or two other great trainings beyond just the basics that you'd like to share. I know Mary doesn't do any other training besides basics, so
I think Foundations of Training is one of the best courses available.
Oh, fundamentals. Yeah, absolutely. That is one of the best training courses. I have to say the strategic planning, though, was an amazing course as well.
Where did you take that course?
I took that one in New York. I did that a few years ago. That's the third part of the T3 now for the training continuum for trainers.
Awesome.
Pretty exciting.
Okay, Tara put one in chat. Let's hear from you, Tara.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Hear that I need to still work on my tickets.
Yeah, we'd love an update, Tara. Just saying.
You only have to work on one ticket.
One ticket with 5 parts.
That's right. Yeah.
So Wood Badge, yeah, of course, that's the one I was, I'm always going to promote Wood Badge. It was one of the best experiences I've done as a leader, so I would recommend that for everybody if you can. We offer those every couple of years, and I know the one we had last year was really successful. So hopefully those folks who are still finishing their tickets can do that and be successful. But please do consider, if you haven't taken Wood Badge, sign up for our next available course or find one that's available in another council, because it's really a great training and will teach you more than you ever thought you would need to know about scouting. But Wood Badge is definitely one there. Anybody else want to throw one out there? I have more slides, so we can talk about them. But anyone else have a great outdoor leader training experience that they want to maybe recommend?
I would recommend, if anybody has the opportunity to do any of the trainings out at Philmont Training Center. They are just amazing, and it's a very different atmosphere from here. You're out in the desert and along the trails and things, but there are some great amenities there too at the Philmont Training Center, some great family programs, but fabulous information, and you will network and meet people from all around the country. So
great plug for that. I actually have a slide about that a little bit later. I do see some additional suggestions in the chat. Matt Chartier wants to know if there's going to be any training courses offered at summer camp this year, or is it still too early to know? Greg, do you have any insight to that you're
They
aware
are,
of?
and they're in the, I believe they're in the leader's guide, and the program guide will be coming out by mid-May.
So it sounds like there will be additional trainings available at summer camp this year, so that's awesome. Please take a look at the leader guide if you haven't already.
Matt, can I just tag in on the Philmont?
Yeah, sure.
It's been, I think it was 2015 now. We went as a family. Ellie was mentioning this. it was a fabulous trip. It's like an all-inclusive vacation for the family. So while the leaders are going, the training, the spouses and children have like a glorified day camp, but on the Philmont Scout Reservation. So the prices were very reasonable in 2015. So it was a great family vacation.
And for the older youth family members who are attending, there is usually an opportunity for them to be doing some away from the PTC, longer overnights and things in the backcountry and stuff too. So for some youth who can't go and do a full Philmont trek, part of the family programs at PTC include some mini trek kind of activities.
Awesome. It looks like Wilderness First Aid is a good recommendation. I've done that one myself. If you're going to be going to Philmont as a unit leader, it's a requirement. Actually, any of the high adventure bases request that you have at least one or two, I believe, leaders trained in Wilderness First Aid, and youth would be a good option for that as well. Aquatic supervision was recommended by Monique. Swimming and water rescue, especially those, again, we talked about outdoor water activities. That would be really important and a great opportunity to kind of make sure folks are ready in case of an emergency. And looks like Matt suggested Operation Zero is something that we're going to try to bring back and maybe do that in the fall. So if that's something, if you're going to be doing any cold weather camping, we're going to be offering some additional training for that going forward, hopefully starting in the fall. So keep an eye out for that as well. We did mention IOLS. When I took that, it was called something else, but it was a great opportunity for me. So who would like to talk a little bit about IOLS and what you might take away from that? Anyone want to speak about that?
Mary?
I was hoping other people were going to have their input. I can say you eat well. I've been on staff for that one for way too many years now. And I can tell you, I always learn new things every single time I'm there. I still am the most horrible person at doing knots, but I always try every time I'm there to learn something new. I don't know. I love the program. I think you get a lot of experience. You learn a little bit about program. You learn a lot of the outdoor skills. One of the things I love about this training is it's in person and you get to meet and network and just, I don't know, great group of people usually that are there. I know a bunch of the people that are on this have actually taken that course, and I'd love to hear what they like about it.
One thing I'll mention is when I took it, again, it was called something else, but that being a patrol as a leader is kind of a great experience and a reminder of what it's like to be in a patrol as a youth. So that was a big takeaway for me, is kind of reminding myself of the personalities in the group and learning to work with different folks who have maybe different experience levels. So that was big for me. And Tara recommends the networking experience of IOLS as well, how much you get out of, again, working with other folks you may not normally work with. So I would recommend that, and we're going to be offering that in our council again. We usually do that every year, right, Mary?
IOLS is scheduled for the last weekend of April 29th.
So sign up today.
Yep.
If you can. Great.
Nobody's signed up yet.
I know, we need to sign up now.
Okay, sign up now. Sign up if you've already done it. You can do it again.
Oh, and it's always fun to do it more than once.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you can be on staff too. Okay, moving forward. Moving forward, here's a training that many of you probably have not taken, but it would be a good thing to try if you can find it. Powder horn training. Has anyone done powder horn training in our council that wants to speak about it a little bit?
I haven't, but I want to, and I just put a link to a local course in the chat.
Awesome. So powder horn is open to both adults and youth who are at least 13 and have completed the 8th grade, so they'd be venturing eligible, basically. It's a hands-on resource management course designed to give you the contacts and tools necessary to conduct an awesome high adventure program for your troop, team, crew, or ship. And the recommendation is to contact your area training chair for information about upcoming courses. And Greg seems to have found one. So yeah, basically it takes that information that you learn in IOLS and ramps it up to another level to actually be on a high adventure trek, essentially, with either other adults and youth. So it's kind of a cool, put those skills to the test and really put some of that leadership to the test as well. It's available to both Scouts and venturing leaders, and Sea Scouts leaders will be able to take it as well. So I would suggest that's an opportunity and something to look for, because maybe you don't get that opportunity to do high adventure too much, but if you wanted to kind of learn it and maybe even work with youth on that, that's kind of a cool opportunity. The next one we already mentioned is Wood Badge. Can't recommend this one enough. It's one of the best experiences I've had as a Scout leader in terms of training. I think everybody that I know who has done it, you know, it's sort of a life-changing experience. So we have a former course director in the group here. We have maybe some future ones in the group. So kind of a cool plug, and please try to sign up for this if you haven't already. I can't say how much fun it is. You know, again, you get the opportunity to be a Scout again, which I love to go back to my Scouting experience and be a Scout as an adult. But you can make a huge change in your unit. You can make a huge change in the council or the district, and all of these things come out of just 5 days in the woods. So it really suggest it. A lot of leadership skills, and sometimes your work will even help you pay for it, because it's basically a manager training as well. So lots of cool opportunities, and Wood Badge is one of my favorites. So I would suggest you do it. And if you have any questions, always feel free to ask somebody you know who has done it, because they can also suggest it as well.
I can tell you, if you aren't in management and you apply for a job and you have Wood Badge training, that actually is a thing. Kind of like, Scouts that get their eagle. Wood Badge training got me my management job, so it works.
Yeah, I mean, it will definitely amp up your leadership skills a high amount. So next one is called Sea Badge. Has anyone done Sea Badge that's in the group? No, I know. I think Joshua Hall has done it, but I don't see him in the group, so he can't speak to it. Monique says it's a great training. I don't know if that's regarding Wood Badge or Sea Badge, but both are true, I think. I'll give you the blurb that Scouting gives you for Sea Badge. Sea Badge is a leadership and management training focused on how-to aspects of managing a successful youth-led Sea Scout program. While Sea Badge was developed as an advanced leadership training program for experienced Sea Scout adult leaders, the course is open to all Scout leaders. The driving theme for the training is to focus on youth, which makes the course especially valuable for any Scout leader dealing with older youth. Sea Badge does not cover topics like boating, knots, or other program-related materials found in the Sea Scout manual. So if you're thinking you're going to go to Sea Badge and learn how to, tie knots and put the sails on your ship, that's not exactly what you're going to get out of it. It's more of like a Wood Badge style leadership training, but it's sort of geared towards Sea Scout units, but it's valuable for anybody who can get value out of a leadership training. So it's an opportunity. I haven't seen too many of these offered around. They do happen, and it seems like a really cool program. So I'll keep an eye out for it, and hopefully we can find one and go to it, because it's kind of cool. Moving forward, we already spoke a little bit about this, but we have national training conferences, including the Philmont Training Center. I think Ellie spoke about it. Greg spoke about it. I know Fritz is a big proponent of Philmont Training Center. Basically, you get to do your leadership and training in one of the most premier, scouting ranches in the world, and it's been going on since 1950. So that's pretty amazing. It's years and years of experience. I'd like to go someday. I know it's highly recommended from anybody who does it. So, and it seems like it's a family-friendly thing too. So you can bring your family, you can do your training and they can have some fun in the outdoors.
Matt, your mom would like all of the stuff that the family members can do.
I bet, especially if they have shopping, but that's not,
They
that's
do.
not her only. That's not her
And
only.
museums and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
kinds of fun stuff.
So Philmont Training Center is out there. Please consider going. It's run almost every year, I know. The next one is Seabase. Ellie loves Seabase. She's talked to me about
Yes.
that one. They have a similar adult leader training conference that they do almost every year. And they are always looking for folks to come down and do some training, and it doesn't hurt that it's in the Keys. So you get this beautiful environment and you get to learn leadership and maybe even go sailing or kayaking or canoeing or everything that they do down in Seabase. So all kinds of cool outdoor water-based training and activities. Mary mentioned the Sea Badge is offered at Summit in October. So if you're looking for that Sea Badge, why don't you head down to Summit? Another opportunity is Northern Tier. They don't have as quite as a formal of a training center, but they do offer trainings for adults there as well. So if you're looking for some canoeing-based experience in the North Woods, please take a look at Northern Tier as an opportunity. I know Dave has been there and a few others have as well. So if you think the Northern Tier is a great opportunity, go for it. I'd love to hear anybody who's been up there and done any leadership training at the Northern Tier. And the place I have been, Summit. Summit actually offers something called the Summit Leadership Challenge. That's, I believe, relatively new. It says adults learn to internalize and practice their leadership skills in this action-packed Summit conference. You get to basically take what you learned in Wood Badge in an outdoor experiential learning environment. And Leadership Challenge at the Summit underscores the values of scouting and teamwork and promotes the concepts of servant leadership. So another opportunity that's out there. Seems like there's no limit to what you can find out there if you're looking for some high adventure or outdoor training opportunities. We have about a minute left in the session, and that was kind of my last slide there. So I want to thank you for your attention, but anyone want to share something else or have any thoughts before we close up?
If I could just add a few words about Philmont. I've been there 5 times, and I've had a great learning experience every single time I have gone. It is a great opportunity to meet people from all across the United States who have the same interests that you do. So the trainings are based on a leadership position or a theme, a scouting program of one type or another. And all the folks there are just great. The trainers are well trained. I did serve as a trainer for 2 opportunities, and they really know their stuff, and it's a great experience. Yeah,
I know Fritz is a huge proponent, and going 5 times is a good sign that it's a great experience. So I would say, please get there if you can. I think all these high adventure programs are amazing, and Philmont really is the top notch. Okay, so we're going to be heading back to our main session. We'll see everybody over there.
And do we have any kinds of information? Anybody have any questions or anything that they would like to bring up before we, as part of a leader forum?
I do, Ellie.
Sure.
Yeah. So we have our program launch scheduled for the first Monday in June, which would be Roundtable Night.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, we tried it in person on a Saturday. We've done it Monday nights up at Moses with a cookout. We're not quite sure what the dining hall situation will be this year. And I have another opportunity. I just thought I'd put past this group, and then a poll that I'll put up quickly. Zoom has put out a new program called Zoom Events, and it's like going to a virtual conference, which would have like a webinar or a meeting room like this. It also has a vendor fair setting that you could drop into the various vendors that might be there in the individual rooms and collect information and chat with them, as well as a lounge where you can just visit and hang out with some folks. So we are considering that as a possibility for program launch, given that we don't get, even pre-pandemic, we weren't getting a great representation of all of our units at that event. So the question is simply, would you prefer a in-person at Moses, which if we can cook out, we would do that. It would be a Monday evening, or would you like to try something virtual? And I guess the thought here too is thinking for the council, maybe not necessarily personally. So I'll just leave that open and you can continue, Ellie, unless somebody has a question about this.
Any other questions or information that people want to share from your breakouts? What you found helpful, what you found something new you learned? Anybody?
On the program launch, why not offer somehow do both?
We can add,
Virtual.
because the vendors would be coming from throughout New England virtually and wouldn't be up at Moses. And we don't have the bandwidth to be able to do it up there. Both.
Greg, speaking of bandwidth, are we able to do next month's in-person roundtable at the epicenter?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So that will be a change. We will not be at the TD Bank for the April roundtable. And one of the things that we are going to do as part of the April roundtable is we will have, in conjunction with the linking, kind of making everybody think about the pancake sale and the maple syrup sale, we will be having some different kinds of things that your roundtable team will have made as little tastes, and almost like a little cooking challenge among the roundtable team. And people will get to sample some foods and things that are either pancake or syrup related. And I will probably have a prize for whichever team member wins the challenge. But we can't have, I mean, we have to have people who come and do all of the tasting to be able to have this be a workable challenge. So plan on coming to the epicenter in April, on April 3rd. And at that point in time, I think sunset will be closer to 7:15, 7:20. So we may actually be able to start with some outdoor kinds of activities and things before going inside to the epicenter. Just thank you, Matt. Let's see. Any other things has everyone? No, not everyone has answered the program launch question. All right. I also want to make a quick announcement. I know TJ Noonan could not be with us this evening, but TJ has completed his Commissioner Arrowhead. And so I wanted to let everybody know that TJ has earned that award. We do talk about immediate recognition and things like that. So I just wanted to make sure we announced that. And in April, we will be at the epicenter. We'll be talking about recognizing volunteers. Cub Scouts will be talking about games in and out, and the Scouts BSA Ventures and Ships will be talking about interpatrol competitions. So we may actually, the team will be talking, but one of the things we threw out there was we might flip and do breakouts first so that we can do some activities outside and then go inside to Epicenter for the informational ends of things. But we will let everyone know, and that will be part of the things that go into one of the newsletters with Art. Okay. So in closing, oh, okay. I'm just double checking chat. Okay. Okay, yes, maple syrup and keyboards don't mix. So, yes. Okay. All right, we will be confirming all of the things, and we will put everything out in the Compass so that everybody has a clearer understanding. The team will be working on that next week. We'll have our meeting and do all of that. So in closing, I have a prayer. God, thank you for spring and the hope of warmer, longer, brighter days. Thank you for the coming of growth and life and birth. Thank you that things are coming awake in the world. This is what our calendar says, and we do see some signs that it is real. But we also still struggle with the residual layover of winter. Now we ask you to bring into reality all that belongs in this season: provision and hope and joy and health and loving relationships. So enjoy spring. We will see you in April, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you all for joining us.